In relation to adults, we have an understanding that we have no right to force them to do anything, to put pressure on them. But for some reason, there is no such understanding in relation to children. There are many quick ways to pull yourself together when you want to raise your voice. Take a few deep breaths, leave the room, count to 10. But the situations will definitely be repeated, so it is much more effective to find the reasons for the child's disobedience, which most often lead to screams. When a mother understands the reasons for a child's behavior, she is able to make the right decisions. Lack of attention. Lack of attention is the most common cause of child disobedience. Judge for yourself. You are talking on the phone, a child approached you for the first time. To show what he drew, you did not react. The second time he came up, you waved him off. The third time he broke the vase, that will distract you from the conversation, won't it? Most likely, you will scold him or even punish him. So he received his portion of attention, albeit negative. On a subconscious level, the child comes to understand that if he behaves well, he is not noticed, but if he behaves badly, mom herself reinforces the wrong behavior by shouting, forming a vicious circle. What is quality attention? It's when a mother puts all her stuff aside, listens to her child, explains something, hugs him, spends some time with him. If you're busy, find half a minute to tell your son or daughter that you can give him or her attention after a while. Or agree that he can come up to you at any time, snuggle up, and you'll be sure to give him a hug and a pet, no matter what you're doing. Any contact goes into the piggy bank of attention, touching, listening, playing together. Try for the sake of an experiment to allocate the child 2 times for 15 minutes a day. The time is conditional, but not less than half an hour, exclusively for joint pastime, without distractions and phones. And it is important to do during this time what he wants, without the moralizing and nurturing. Gradually accumulating these experiences, the child will feel an increasing emotional connection with you. His piggy bank of attention will be replenished daily, and his behavior will change for the better. Yes, it will take time, but the result will surely be there. The desire to show your will. Even at a very young age, children begin to actively show their self. It is important for them to understand that they have control over something. Parents need to learn to accept the fact that the child has an opinion and may not agree with something. With regard to adults, we have an understanding that we have no right to force them to do anything, to put pressure on them. But for some reason there is no such understanding in relation to children. This is how the spring effect manifests itself. Parents push, but sooner or later the spring will straighten out, sweeping away everything in its path. However, it is important to understand that respect for the child's personality is not permissiveness at all. Rules and boundaries are necessary. The child is safer with them. Respect is the ability of a parent to convey their opinion psychologically competently, not by shouting. It is necessary to negotiate with children, explain, teach through joint actions. It is important to attract kids with what they are interested in, to connect the game and imagination. This does not mean that you need to be an animator for your children, but if you have at least 20% of the resources for such entertainment, there will already be a qualitatively new level of relations. Physiology. The reason for disobedience may be overexcitation, hunger, lack of sleep, adaptation in the garden or to any new circumstances. For example, a new family member has appeared or the family has changed its place of residence. The simplest solution is to eliminate the cause, if it can be done quickly, or to give the little person the support and attention he needs so much. Children adapt very quickly to the constantly changing world around them. It's just that in a difficult period for them, you need to be close. When we get angry, we experience strong emotions. The oldest areas of the brain that are responsible for emotions are activated. And for the ability to think, comprehend the situation and act rationally. A younger zone is responsible. The cerebral cortex, which at this moment seems to be dozing. That is why when emotions cover us, we become unable to think constructively. If a mother takes out her anger on a child, he also experiences strong emotions, fear, resentment, and, accordingly, cannot literally understand what you want from him. Another vicious circle. It is important for parents to remember that their child has never been an adult. He does not know what to do in such a situation. There is no need to shift responsibility for your condition to the child. The brain needs only 7 seconds to activate the thought process again. Here the simplest methods will come to the rescue. Count out loud from 10 to 1, we count forward automatically, leave the room, take 7 steps back. Children will see that mom is taking time out and learn from her the right reaction. Sometimes it is very simple to achieve obedience, change negative sentences to affirmative ones. We often say, don't do this, don't do that, and try to replace it with, do this, do that. This way the child will understand faster what you are asking him. You also need to get away from the installation. If you said it, but you didn't hear it, you need to repeat it, but louder. Look for a way to interact without pressure. The question remains, where can mom get the energy to put all these tips into practice? After all, we often raise our voice when we simply can no longer see other options, out of impotence. The answer is 1, to look for opportunities to devote time to yourself. I recommend moms to make a list of things that cause them positive emotions. Maybe simple little things that are important to you, a warm bath, a cup of coffee alone, a favorite book, etc. And then sit down and think about how to implement it. Call your husband for help, invite your grandmother, negotiate with a friend. It is vital to find time for yourself every day. Household chores can be done while the child is awake. When he sleeps, you can do what you like, which will help you recover. And even better, go to bed with your child. Always prioritize sleep. Remember that there are 3 mutually exclusive things: a perfectly clean apartment, a happy child, and a mentally healthy mother. This is of course a joke, but there is some truth in it. You don't need to keep up with everything, limit yourself to the main thing. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel to develop with us.